University, the voice of Reichman University.
The Baseline. Stories from the court with Jonathan Rears and Mayor Cohen.
Season 3, episode 16, with none other but Canadian legend Elijah Mitrou-Long.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on, brother.
I just want to start us off. This is what kind of do every episode. Tell our guests, what we're doing here, which is basically, we're two guys in Israel following the game, following overseas game. What we want to do is just bring more attention to it, bring more attention to young athletes to realize that it's a path for them and for people to understand like what game is out there outside for maybe the NBA or maybe even the EuroLeague to understand. We want to bring attention to it and one by one, interview by interview. So we appreciate it.
And it's love. It's always love. I heard nothing but good things about you guys. That's why I wanted to hop on here and show some love.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, man. I appreciate
I'm
that.
gonna give a little intro about you. So obviously from Ontario, right outside Toronto, right?
Yeah.
Went to Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers for 2 years, D1. Moved on over to Texas. Then finished your college career at UNLV.
Mm-hmm.
Started your professional career in Greece. Went over to Bulgaria, back to Greece, and then you played in the CEBL with Niagara, the River Lions. Went over back to Greece, did a couple of years there, back to the CEBL, and then this year you came over to Israel, and then towards the end of the season moved on to Italy.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly. You got every single one right.
There you go. That's pretty rare, honestly. Sometimes players we just
Facts.
So why don't you take us back to the Canada days? We got obviously MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Luke Dort. They just won the NBA Finals. Canada basketball's on the rise. Why don't you talk us kind of through your high school experience basketball-wise and what it was like playing ball in Canada?
I mean, again, this all ties back to who made me really play the game. I was really a professional. I was a boxer. I used to box because my dad was a boxer, so I used to box. All of us used to box. But then when my brother really started taking the basketball serious, Naz Mitrou-Long, he kind of like opened my eyes to things. I remember it was like a quick tournament in France. I was young. I was probably like 12, 13. My mom shouldn't even let me have went, but I went by myself with my brother's team, and they just let me like be around them. Long story short, that trip alone made me fall in love with the game, just like what it brings. Like, you could go travel the world and see what the world's like through a ball, and also I'm competitive. So when it came to like the Canadian basketball, there was a bunch of legends growing up that didn't make it out of the city due to like a lot of things you hear about like in neighborhoods, like either just injuries, distractions off the court, whether it was good things, bad things, whatever the case may be. But there's a bunch of legends that came before us, like David Tyndall, he trains me. He trains Naz. He trains a bunch of guys. He trains Dylan Brooks. He trains, honestly, damn near anybody that's on Team Canada knows David Tyndall. So long story short, he was like one of the pioneers for this basketball stuff here. And he installed a lot of things in me, as well as my brother did. And that's just basically how it started. It was just competitive basketball outside in the park, in the streets, and then in the YMCA. And then the YMCA turned into CIA Bounce. CIA Bounce was an AAU team. That was a Canadian AAU team. We went to the market or the circuit in AAU in America. And then from then, I left when I was 15. So I left when I was 15. I went to Bel Air, Maryland, John Carroll High School. I don't know if you know Emmanuel Quickly, but he plays for Toronto now. But he was a freshman when I was he was a rookie when I was a senior there. So so I was in America my whole basically high school and up. I was in America. I followed the same footsteps as my brother, and now fast forward, now here I am, almost 6 years into being a pro. So it's crazy.
That is amazing. And I was tracking, your college career. You played three different universities, right? You started at
Yeah.
Mount St. Mary's, you play at Texas, and then UNLV. So tell us a little bit about the actual recruiting process, how that went to get to St. Mary's. But I'm really interested in, St. Mary's obviously phenomenal school, but once you go to Texas, everything's a little bit bigger there, is what they say. So tell us a little bit about, maybe your recruitment there and then your transition to play at Texas and later UNLV.
So before I even get there, long story short, I got offered for Florida Gulf Coast, right? FGCU when they were Dunk City. So my senior year, I was committed to Florida Gulf Coast my entire senior year, right? Long story short, me, I'm the type of guy that I'm not into the politics. I'm not the type of person to get into that or be nice because I have to rub this guy the right way. Or I'm the straightforward type of guy. Like, because at the end of the day, if you don't want me, who I am, pure, then we're not going to be able to succeed. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, Florida Gulf Coast, they had something going on, some shady stuff back then. Basically, where it was just like the point guard's heart, he had a heart condition, and they needed a point guard, so they gave me an offer. And months later, when I say the end of my like senior year, they called me and said, "Yo, we're taking your scholarship." This actually happened April 13th. I remember the date, 3:45 p.m. It's on my Twitter. I have it till this day, where they called me and they say, "Yo, we're pulling your scholarship." I was left with zero scholarships. There was a time where I remember everybody in the high school would pull up to like see what school they're going to, and everybody wear their little T-shirt in college, right? And I had no I was Florida Gulf Coast, but I remember the day like it was yesterday. I didn't have anything. I had to wear a white shirt, and I remember all the whole basketball team basically went somewhere, even if it was D2. I had nothing, you know. So whatever. Mount St. Mary's. I went on a trip to Mount St. Mary's, and not what I was thinking. So basically, damn near at that time was a JUCO. Like it was just a D1 was like a cover up. It was damn near a JUCO. We weren't getting paid anything. There was times I had to do certain things to get in the gym. It was insane. Like the people that know understand like what Mount St. Mary's was. Like I was crawling through windows to get to the gym. Like very a school that's very just like a YMCA. Like it wasn't like this is the basketball team uses the basketball gym. It was like anybody's using this gym at any time. You know, sometimes the gym was like not available because the floor was like covered up with a bunch of stuff. Like it was crazy. But anyway, so I went there my rookie year. Didn't really have the best year, you know, adjusting. From my rookie year to my sophomore year, I trained with this guy named Will Holland. Great trainer. Actually, I'm talking to him like these days to link up with him to train. He made me go from obviously I put the work in, but he helped me get from averaging I think like 6 points to like 15. And then we won the whole thing. Boom, won in number one in the league, got the championship, went to the NCAA tournament, beat New Orleans to get in the playing game, then play Villanova. Damn near it was like the New York Knicks, just Villanova. Like it was all those guys on that one team.
Right.
DiVincenzo was on there as well.
I saw
And
that
then
little flick with Mikal Bridges.
yeah. So Mikel was So Jalen's been that guy though. Jalen's been that guy. So anyways, and then after that, this is how it really happened. So my head coach Jamie and Christian, who were coached in Italy from Reggio Emilia this year, he's really good coach, friends with Shaka Smart. And while I was traveling, I was the first wave of players coming out of the NEC, and kind of the NCAA in a sense, a little bit coming from the lower majors, going to a high major school. So like I kind of broke threshold when it came to like my conference, and the people in the conference start seeing, oh, I can do this. So if you look at guys now in those leagues, they're going to those schools, the JUCOs, the low D1s, and then transferring somewhere high. And I'm not saying I'm the first one, but I think I started this trend in that organization and that whatever. So Shaka Smart was cool with Jamie and Christian, and then he basically said like, "Yo, you need a guy to work hard." Da 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 da. I think you should take a look at Eli. So, long story short, I've always been an overrated, like an underrated type of guy. People always overlooked me, you know. So I go to Texas. I'm on my scholarship. I have a official offer. So I go, and instead of me looking at around the campus, my wrist was already broken, but I didn't tell them about that because I'm sitting out next year. I told them after, like if they really offered me, they say, "Yo," while I'm going around the campus, they say, "Yo, we want you to work out." So like as an official offer, you could say no, but I feel like they were testing me to see what type of person I am, and they actually wanted to see if I'm able to train at this level because going from the Mount to going to Texas. Like you said, everything's bigger in Texas. I said, all right, let's get it. So John Lucas, who's the Miami U head coach right now, I went against him. You know, he's a legend. His dad's a legend, John Lucas. And after the workout, they told me, "Oh, bro, we want you." So I signed there. Redshirt year, got surgery on my wrist, so I was sitting out. They got all types of guys. I've Mo Bamba, Jericho Sims, Jackson Hayes. They got Kern Roach, Andrew Jones. They got all these guys 6'6", jumping out the gym, you know. And I'm like 5'11", can't even try to even get up there, you know. But anyways, took an adjustment. My second year going to Texas, I started off the season really well. Really well. I started honestly with Jackson. I was starting in my first like 6 games. I was playing very well. And I don't want to get into the politics again because the truth is what it is. I mean, people outside looking in will say, "Oh, he wasn't good enough," and that's fine. That's an opinion that they have. But I know, and everybody in that team, in that locker room knows what was going on. And when you go to those schools, and I would tell everybody that is getting recruited by those schools, you have to understand that it's not just, yo, mano y mano, my jersey against your jersey, who works harder. If I work harder than you, I'm on the court. That's not how it goes. There's a lot of politics in it. There's a lot of things behind closed doors that people don't understand and people don't know. So long story short, my position got switched. Things happened. I took responsibility with my attitude and my actions because obviously I'm growing. I'm a young man that I did certain things that I could have done better. But with that being said, that's what happened. And me and Coach Shaka Smart at the time, we didn't see eye to eye. Right now, I can message him right now and tell him I love him and we love each other. But at the time when I was young and immature with certain things, we didn't see eye to eye. And then after that, I was like, all right, fifth year, you know, I want to go somewhere where they're going to let me rock out. And honestly, I wish if I had 2 more years, I would have been to UNLV for 2 years because when I was playing, we were number one in the conference, non-conference, or sorry, we're number one in the conference before I got injured, and then we lost in the playoffs first round to I forget who forget Boise State. I think Boise State. But yeah, it was a little short thing, fifth year. So as soon as the season was done, I graduated from Texas. I was in fifth year, and then after that, I was done. I was chilling. And I went straight to Greece, man.
What was it like running that pick and roll with Jackson Hayes in Texas?
Bro, it was like almost I had a teammate this year in Italy. You could throw the ball as high as you want, you know. But again, like we're young, so the things that he's doing now, he was doing it, but not as efficient that he was before. So
Right.
now I'm just like, okay, I see why he's doing it, but like he's way more efficient now. You know what I'm saying? And he's playing with LeBron. So LeBron's coming off the screen. I'm not. You're coming off the screen, LeBron. Obviously, he's gonna have to guard LeBron. So LeBron's 6'8". He could throw the ball over top every single time. You know what I'm saying? But Jackson earned every minute. Not even just in the league, even in Texas, he wasn't starting. He wasn't playing a lot. He was playing behind Mo Bamba. He was playing behind Jericho Sims, all those guys, and he was the one that he niched out his own thing, and he ended up being one of the best bigs coming out of Texas.
So tell us a little bit about signing your first pro contract. I mean, we hear a lot about that for you. It was Greece, as you said, but you pretty much have this, expectation when you're there. Tell us at what point in your college career did you think about going pro overseas, and then actually what was the process of you signing that first contract, and then the moment you're on the plane realizing, this is where I'm going. I'm off to Greece, off
Yeah,
to go.
yeah. So it was an interesting feeling because obviously I always tie this to my brother because he's a big part of us what I do and vice versa. You know, we motivate each other. And when I was seeing him do what he was doing in the G League, and this is all facts, he was doing numbers that you would think, okay, he's gonna for sure get called up to an NBA team, and not only called up because he did get called, but there's gonna for sure be a spot for him on an NBA team and at least getting some playing time because he was averaging in the G League 16. He was putting up numbers that like, okay, yeah, this guy's for sure gonna get called up. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So when I seen that, I see these things as a younger brother and understand, okay, I can go that route and try to chase that route, or I could go straight overseas. And if those guys in the NBA or whomever wants me, they'll see me over there if I take care of what I take care of over there. Now, if I don't, then this is my lane. So immediately I wasn't thinking, let me go G League. That was COVID year as well. So it shut down all the workouts for NBA, shut it all down. I had no NBA workouts. I couldn't even You know those guys that probably weren't ranked the highest, but they go at somebody that's ranked the highest and could get in there. Maybe, I'm interested in this guy, or put him in a two-way, or let me see him on the G League team. I didn't even have any of those options. I had straight COVID hit as soon as UNLV was done. 2 weeks after this, like 2 months, I think, after 2 weeks after, I forget, COVID hit. And you're thinking, okay, COVID's going to last for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 5 weeks. Came a month.
We spoke with Drake Cook. He I don't know if you know him, he played in Kyoto towards the end of the season, and he said he was also like finishing college at that time. He said all
Yeah.
his like NBA workouts were Zoom interviews with like teams. So
Yeah. Yeah.
completely
Yeah.
different.
And like, there's guys that, like, for me, I'm not eye candy, so they don't people don't see me and see, okay, he's 6 feet, he could jump out the gym, or he has long, like, I'm not somebody that's eye candy. I'm the type of person that you put me against somebody that's ranked or the top guard or whatever the case may be, then we'll see what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, so yeah, that just put me overseas, and I remember the day, like, I remember I was getting my first number for Greece, and I was with the manager. His name's Sotos, good guy from Pauk. He like, yo, wait over here. I'm about to run in the store and get you your thing. And he's parked in the middle of the road. And I remember I got out the car and I just looked left and right, like, yo, I'm really in Europe, bro. And I'm Greek. So like at this time, like I'm still like, okay, it's Greece, but I'm like, yo, there's cars zooming, motorcycles zooming, people walking, talking. Like I was like, yo, this is insane, you know? Shell shock for sure. But and it was COVID at the time. So it was kind of like there's people, a lot of people, but then COVID hit over there and it was nobody. So it was weird. Like it was, and there's no fans. There was, so everything, everywhere I traveled, it was just like all my vets, like Jermaine Love that played for Pauk with me at the time. He was telling me, like, an Elston Turner, like, yo, this is not how Europe is. But all I knew was this, like, so it was cool, but it's better with people in the crowd, you know what I'm saying?
And how is it transitioning over to Bulgaria and then having that other stint in Greece as well?
So boom, ACL tore my ACL. Unfortunate. It's playing well as well. As a rookie, I was playing well. People were telling me, "Yo, you're." One thing about Greece, they're very, especially rookies, they'll cut you. They don't care if you don't play defense, they're cutting you. Unless you're scoring 20 off the rip. But anyways, I tore my ACL off the sticker on the floor, and
Oh,
I
that's
was gone.
terrible.
Yeah, I was gone. Unfortunately, but I've battled a lot of injuries throughout my college career as well. So it's just another milestone. And I was like, all right, boom, I'm back. I'm doing my ACL. Nobody helped me. When I tell you nobody helped me, nobody helped me. There was only this one girl that she works for the Pacers now. She actually works on Indiana Pacers now. And actually I seen her behind when Halliburton was like walking. Yami, that's her name. It was Naz. Naz played for the G League Indiana Pacers team. She helped Naz, and I wanted to know what was going on with my ACL. So she would literally FaceTime me, and I'll put the phone up, and she would look at my knee on FaceTime and be like, okay, I see this. You should do that. I'm going to send you this. When I tell you nobody helped me, Pauk helped me recover because it was in the contract. But as soon as I left home, I had to figure out everything on my own. Um, so anyways, and then when I was healthy and I felt like I was ready to go, I could have went back to Greece, but just being smart, I said, you know what? I don't want to go to a level that's that high right now. Not because I'm scared, because nobody's scared of no competition, but more so, what's the best thing for me? And it's Bulgaria. Yeah, no, I ain't scared of nobody. Just to make that clear.
It was
Sorry,
actually
go
the
ahead.
question I was gonna get to. But like we could talk about it now. From what at what point for me, I'm also like a small guard. So when I came to the Cologne games and I saw him like who is this guy? Like, and I'm like, you're like, first of all, you have one of the deepest bags I've ever seen like
Nah,
overseas.
I
So
appreciate
I wanted to ask you, where does that come from? You watch like you have a guy that you've been
it.
watching your whole life, and do you
Yeah.
feel like you're dancing on that court?
Yeah, man. I mean, again, it came from people back at home here. They'll say like the guys that are close to me. They'll say like it's a mixture of everybody that I've known, I've grown up with, from the OGs to now. It's like my game's like a mixture of everybody. Like my brothers, David Tyndale's, Corey Cooper, Allen Addison. Cody John, everybody mixed in one. And I haven't honestly. I watch Allen Iverson. I love Kyrie on and off the court. I like him as a person. I like him as a hooper. I watch Steve Nash. I watch Darius Garland. But in the end of the day, it's me. Like it's almost like you have it or you don't. And if you have it, you have to work on it. So like all my workouts, if you see on my Instagram when I'm back in summer, it's David Tyndall, and I knew him since I was 12, and that guy has infinite amount of moves, like infinite. So that's where I got it from, man. I got it from all my OGs, of people that I grew up with. It's an expression of emotion too, you know,
For
like I
sure.
said, you know. So yeah, yeah,
I think it's true because I asked like from who do you kind of model your game, but you bring everyone together and it's like I see it as an art. Like you get really creative with it and you know the
exactly.
angles. So
Yeah.
I think it's
It's
super cool.
it's and a curse though, because some coaches I
I
get
hate
lost.
it.
Yeah, they hate it, but some coaches, if they let you rock and you can find that balance where like Spanulis helped me find that balance to let me go, but also be professional as well, it was perfect. But it's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard.
So I want to ask you about that a little later on, but from Bulgaria, you go to Greece and then you end up in the CEBL in Canada for Niagara.
Mhm.
Why don't you talk us through like playing back at home, playing in Canada, and
Yeah.
what it's like playing in the Canadian League out there?
Honestly, CBL is a great league. It's a great league. I'm a Canadian here. It's like somebody. It's like you guys have a Israeli league. Like besides the Israeli league, you guys have like a summer Israeli league. So
Right.
it's like all Canadians are regular players, and then Americans come over here. You see what I'm saying? So it's like now it's in my backyard. Okay, I'm playing already for free to play pickup. So why not just put on a jersey and play a few games, and make some money doing it, and then see my family can come see. So it's kind of like for the culture. But CBL is a great. I think it's a great organization. Every year is growing. The owners are very respectful. They know how to run their stuff. The teams are very respectful. They pay on time. Everything's cool. I haven't seen anything bad. It is a commitment though. It is a commitment, and that's why I don't play the whole year because I do want, peace and sanity as well for summer.
You told us a little bit about, a coach is letting you go versus not, and sometimes you got to find that balance. So tell us what about, what are some differences? You played in Canada a bunch and you also played in Greece a bunch, and then later, as we saw in Israel. And what are some main differences between the kind of those two types of basketball versus the Canadian ball and the European ball that like you can spot easily, and what things you play differently maybe versus depending where you are?
Yo, that's a great question. A lot of people don't understand that every country and every whatever it is, most people do, but a lot of people would be surprised and don't. Every country has their own play style. So Canada, I would say it's more free flowing. It's kind of like Israel. It's kind of like Israel. It's not. You don't need to think too much tactics. Like this is the mismatch. We're gonna get the mismatch. Make a play. In Greece is more slower. There is teams in there that play fast. Don't get me wrong, but majority of the teams are more slower and very calculated. With okay, we're gonna hit the big man. The big man's gonna kick it to this guy. He's gonna kick it. He's gonna go set a down screen. And again, everybody has that foundation all over the world, but Israel, I feel like is like very. That's why a lot of Americans like Israel because their game translates to that style of play, up and down, fast. Not saying that they don't play defense there because yes, there's teams that play good defense, but majority of the time it's who can outscore who in a sense, And the CBL is kind of the same thing. Again, it's a summer league, so it's not very. You got 2 months to win a championship, so you can't really sit there and break down these players and what's going on and how to build team chemistry.
Right.
So
So
yeah.
at the beginning of this year, you come over here, you play in Toulon.
Mhm.
What seemed to be a really good team on paper, like it was a bit of a struggle. And you honestly like this is where I first saw you, and I thought like, wow, this is a great team. You guys play really well.
Mhm.
What was it about this team that maybe didn't work? But also you personally, you played really well. So
Mhm.
what was it about the league and the Israeli league, like you're saying, it's free flowing. So what did you like about playing here? And then what were some of the things that were a little bit harder to work on while you were here?
I would say number one thing, um, and I take the blame just like how everybody will take the blame. I'm not blaming any staff, coach, faculty, anything, but we all know how good Marcus was for us, Binghamton. big man, 4-man. In the beginning of the year, he played for Hopal Tel Aviv now.
Right.
He was a big part of our everything. And once they got rid of him, if you look once he got rid of him, you could kind of see where the team went. He was averaging 16 points, shooting 45% from the three, can guard 1 through 5, can pass, So when you have a 4-man, which you can't find a lot of 4-men out like that, give them away, and then you bring 2 guards, great guards. You bring 2 high-level guards, but you don't bring a big. So now it's kind of boom.
That's really interesting that you say that, because actually they signed Justin Alston towards the end of the season, and he actually brought a lot to the team, which is why they went to the semis in the end. So yeah.
guys. Yeah, so boom. And then after that, it was kind of like I played well. I could have played better. For me personally, I'm not saying this to say this. I think I could have played better. Um, I feel like there's a lot of games that were on my shoulder that this was a growing year where I could have took over and I didn't really be able to get them over the hump, especially in Champions League. But after that, though, when they fired the coach recruited me. He wanted me there, and when they fired the coach, it wasn't like I quit or anything. It was more so, okay, they fired the coach. We're out of Champions League. We're the Israeli league, and then there was rumors that they're just, you hear rumors in Israel like they're bringing another guard, or he's not, they don't like this guard. And at that point in my career, I was like, you know what? I try to help them in Champions League. We're still in fourth. We're in a good place. I'm playing well. Can I play better? 100%. And the coach is fired, and they gave away Marcus, and they gave away Neve. Sorry, what's
Yeah,
his
Mizgav. He
Mizgov.
actually went off. He went off towards the end of the year too. He
You know
carried
what I'm
the team that he went over to.
Exactly. That's a big piece. And it was just like, all right, cool. I'm gonna look out for myself, and then just the stars align. And I just got out of there. I went to Italy, play with my Greek coach again for artists. We linked up in Varese. We helped them stay afloat and not get relegated, and that was it. But Cologne was a good place, but just the wrong timing, And it was a lot for me. That was my first year dealing with the war and stuff, and like it did have a lot of mental, like, people don't understand we're humans. People think we just put jerseys on and then we just wake up with a jersey on and go to sleep with a jersey on. We got real life situations in our life and people that care about us. So when I left there, it was kind of people were happy in the sense where like they knew I was safer. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
What can you say besides, not like besides for the war, but tying that in? What can you say about your experience in Israel besides for that off the
amazing, amazing. Israel's a nice. I never thought I didn't think Israel was like that. I didn't think Israel had the buildings you guys had. I didn't think you guys had the nice beaches. Like I didn't honestly know what Israel was like. It kind of, I wouldn't say like Miami, but kind of reminded me of the States a little bit. And I think a lot of players say that, right?
That's what
Yeah.
Dakari said, yeah.
Yeah. But like I love it. And I understand the situation with the war. It makes people on edge, but there's a lot of potential in there. If this war hopefully does come to an end, God willing. Bro, that would be probably one of the top places too. And you got good basketball there. You got good teams there. You got good fans there. So yeah,
But
I like I said, it was probably the right place, but wrong timing. Because I mean, I like Toulon. The fans are amazing. I love the
what
court.
what can you say about the fans are amazing, but what the when we watched you the first time we came, we're living in Herzliya.
Oh, and Herzliya. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. See, and like yeah, bro, I don't play that. Like that's the thing. I don't. You could say you suck. You can all this like. But don't disrespect my last name. This is my last name is my legacy. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like I'm out here just not playing hard. But
Yeah.
I'm
No,
I'm
it's crazy.
yeah,
It's
but
wild.
understand the way they express themselves is in a different way than probably they probably love me so much that that's how they express themselves, and I
Yeah.
understand. But people aren't as open minded as everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So
So
Yeah,
our
we
Zoom
hear you.
shot clock is running down. So if you can give us a quick 20-second advice for younger players coming up, what would it be?
Um, to not watch anybody else. Don't try not to compare yourself to other people in a way where it's going to take away from your talents. You can always look at somebody, your peers, and say, "Oh, they got there, and I want to get there." But don't ever compare yourself. Why me? Why not him? Why this? Why that? That's number one. And number two, just work hard, and that's literally it. like just work hard and just be smart and always be different. Like don't try to fit in, stand out in any way possible. But whenever things go, you can't find your rhythm, can't find whatever, it's always you go back to the foundation and just work hard. Just work out, work hard, and stay in the gym. That's what I would say.
Amazing. All right. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
I can't wait to see this interview.